You guys, we have this article here which is from chess.com, and it says chess is booming and our servers are struggling. Dear chess community, on December 31st we had 7 million active members on chess.com in a single day for the first time. Now of course 7 million is pretty impressive. That's a big number obviously, but as we're going to see, that number has gone up a lot. On January 20th we had 10 million active users or active members. Traffic on chess.com has nearly doubled since the beginning of December, and our servers are struggling, especially during peak hours, typically between noon to 4 p.m. Eastern time. We are very sorry for the issues. We know it's super frustrating. We are all hands on deck to address these challenges, but sadly there isn't yet a simple button we can press to resolve these issues. We want to address the two core questions we see from the community. What is going on with all this chess growth? And number two, why are the servers struggling? Naturally, there are many reasons for both, but we'll try our best to summarize all that's going on. So we start with number one. What is going on with all this chess growth? As we noted, traffic on chess.com has nearly doubled since the beginning of December. Here are some statistics we can share showing just how remarkable the enthusiasm for chess has been. Number one, all but 5 days in January have set new site records for active members. Now, it's one thing that I will note, you guys, based on both past trends and current trends, because I am somebody who does follow the stock market and just general trends. First thing that I will say is that when you look at trends and what's happening, I have noticed a theme that generally the chess boom, when they do happen, at least since Queen's Gambit, generally they hit YouTube before they hit before they hit everywhere else. So it's like you see the influx on YouTube, and then it spills over like on chess.com, Twitch, etc, etc, etc. So that is the first thing. Okay, so all but 5 days they set a new record. Number two, the chess.com app reached the number 2 in the top free games section of the iOS App Store in the United States of America. It was number 1 in some countries. So this obviously says it all. The fact that the chess.com app was the number 2 app on all of iOS in the United States of America, what more needs to be said? Now, it's a shame it's not number 1. You use some silly game called Gardenscapes as number 1. But at any rate, no disrespect to Gardenscape, but it's not a game with such a rich history the way that chess is. At any rate, let's keep going. Every day since December 5th, 1 million people have solved the daily puzzle. Now, that is, again, insane. On January 19th, we had 1 million visits from Google for the first time. Next thing, we had over 300,000 members join in a single day, over 100,000 more than at the peak of the Queen's Gambit. Next one, 31,700,000 games were played on January 20th alone, a site record, and we are now regularly seeing more than 1 million games an hour. Again, boom goes dynamite. Now, if I go back a little ways, I remember there is this unnamed site, we don't need to name it, and I would always see that at the bottom they would show the number of active games versus chess.com and active games, and I feel like the numbers are something like, I want to say it was like chess.com was maybe like 270, 280k, and this other site was somewhere around maybe like 150, maybe a little bit lower, but it was generally like it was maybe 2 to 1 or a little bit below 2 to 1. But now, of course, I did log on to this unnamed site last night, and I saw a very piddly, I saw 150,000 games going, and meanwhile on chess.com I saw 1.2 million. 1.2 million versus like 150k. So again, I think it speaks volume to which site is winning the battle, and all the great stuff that is happening on chess.com. Next up, we have why is chess growing so rapidly? It's impossible to point to one reason why there is so much interest in chess so suddenly. During the chess boom in 2020 and 2021, the reasons were clear: lockdowns, PogChamps, and the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. Right now, we believe that this rapid growth is a combination of many things, driving interest and media attention for chess and combining into one big wave. Now, we have the first one. The most popular social media post in 2022 featured Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing chess. We have many celebrities are talking about their chess obsession, the cheating controversy and the resulting drama with lawsuits, device allegations, and more. Next up, we have amazing creators, streamers, coaches, and chess community members making awesome content. Next, we have Chess Boxing. Next, we have chess.com's acquisition of the Play Magnus Group. chessboard gifts and games over the holidays, chess.com being featured on the App Store and trending on top games list, the incredible chess played by the best players in the world, and so many amazing events, and mittens. Now, there are many things that can be said here. I will once again reiterate what I've said before. I do not think there's any one single thing that is driving it. I know some people, they've let some ego go to their heads and they're trying to make it all about themselves. But there are many different things going on. So the first thing that I would say in regards to this is that there's one thing that I stressed before, and I will stress again. The single most important thing that happened in regards to the whole chess boom and everything that has happened since then is PogChamps and sort of the groundwork and the infrastructure that was laid back during the initial boom of PogChamps. Because what that did, and I think it's really understated here in general terms, like they list all these things, but the reason that all this stuff matters and people will go somewhere is specifically because you have all the YouTube channels, you have all the Twitch channels, and you also have chess.com as well. So you have these things that were not here. Now, if you were to say take away myself, take away Levy, take away Twitch, YouTube, and all this other stuff, people might be really interested in chess and they might go to chess.com briefly, but there's nothing to necessarily keep them into it in the same kind of way. So that is why I think really all these things do matter. But again, the most important thing that happened was what happened in 2020 with the whole Twitch boom and PogChamps and everything else, because that laid the groundwork so that people have the resources beyond simply going to chess.com. Because while I think chess.com is great, you know, if I go on chess.com, I can do the puzzle, but I don't have that same, like, I can't learn super easily. Whereas if I go to YouTube, I can find that content. Doesn't matter who it is for that matter, but I can find what I want and I can just churn through videos over and over and over again. So that I think, like, at the end of the day, I think is something that has to be said, because it's never really mentioned. But that's what I would say. So at any rate, most of these I actually agree with pretty much everything. Mittens, I don't necessarily agree with. I think Mittens is just like the rock is just going down the hill already, and Mittens is just adding on top of it. So, all right, let's keep going with the article. Why are chess.com servers struggling? Back when chess first began booming during the COVID lockdown, our servers struggled to handle the traffic. We made a lot of investments in hardware and other improvements that allowed us to scale. When the Queen's Gambit boom happened, we experienced another massive increase in traffic, mostly without interruptions in service. Okay. As we discussed today, we are experiencing scaling issues on entirely new levels. When so many people use chess.com service, our database starts to spin out of control because it cannot write fast enough. What does that mean? 250,000 new accounts are being created each day. People are playing games 16,000 chess moves per second on average. People are adding friends. Now, again, just for good measure, you guys, let me change my scene. Just for good measure, and to be part of the problem. Wait, why is it not showing? How do I do this? Is this better? 1 second. Just to be part of the problem. Let me go back. Where was I? Where was I? There we go. Just to be part of the problem, let me make this a little bit smaller, and let me pull this all the way over. Just to be part of the problem right now, you guys. Just to be part of the big problem. Let's pull this down. All right. So let's make this a little bit smaller, and of course, you guys can see. So let's accept all our friend requests right now, right? Just to be part of the problem. Here I go. I just keep clicking. I'm going to be clicking for the next 2 minutes, you guys, because obviously this is what we do. So I'm going to accept all these friend requests right now. Let's see how many there are. I have a feeling there are a lot. So I'm just going to keep clicking this check mark to be part of the problem. Try to crash the server, right? This is what I should be doing, because this is what everyone is obviously doing. So I will do a few more, and it's probably going to take too long. So let's stop doing that. All right, let's get back to the article in the meantime. Okay, you guys. So, all right, where were we? Let me pull this out. Okay. Or wait, this is, yeah. Wait, was this the right one? This was the wrong scene. Actually, it was another scene, but whatever. It's all good. Okay, so where were we? Okay. 16,000 chess moves per second. People are adding friends. They are commentating, chatting, and doing awesome chess things. All this generates data that needs to be written to our databases. Sometimes our systems max out, and just when someone exercises too hard and has to stop and catch their breath, our servers also become exhausted and need to recover. When that happens, they quit working, and our site and apps become unresponsive. It is a huge bummer, and unfortunately there isn't anything quick we can do to resolve the issue. Okay, now that is not a good sign. They say there's nothing quick they can do to resolve the issue, so I assume it's probably going to take them a week or two to fix it, but we'll see. Why can't chess.com scale the systems? We want to first assure you that every problem is being addressed as quickly as possible. They can be solved with more better hardware both on-site and in the cloud. We have a hybrid infrastructure. We have shipments arriving with the most powerful possible live chess and database servers this week. As Stan Mark says, so you're the one who crashes chess.com and stops you from doing puzzles. Yes, you guys, because I just keep clicking that accept friend request button over and over and over and over again. So it's all my fault, like everything else. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just adding more or bigger hardware. Well, that is part of the solution. There are bottlenecks, and once we solve one bottleneck, we grow until we find the next one. We are continuing to find the unscalable parts of chess.com, both proactively and reactively, and work to make them scale more. What is chess.com's action plan? To address the challenges our databases are experiencing, we are separating database tables, sharding databases. Again, I'm not a computer person, so I don't know, or I'm not like into this sort of stuff, so I don't know what it means. Sharding database and putting services in memory. We are also working on cleaving off our most problematic database with users and gameplay. Each of these things takes time because there is so much data to move around. We are working on more graceful failures so that if things do go sideways and everything is exhausted, we can recover more quickly and with less interruption. Everyone possible at chess.com is focused on this, and we are also hiring as quickly as we can. Honestly, this sucks. We know you are here to play and enjoy chess, and it's very frustrating to be looking for a game and instead get a 502 database connection error. Now, what I would say, you guys, is to chess.com, I feel like Google recently laid off, I want to say 12,000 employees. Come on, you guys, you can do better. Or you have your game time out. We are not taking this lightly. We are implementing more short-term fixes today and more broadly expect to have a much better and more stable experience by later this week. Some major changes will be in place in 2 to 3 weeks that we hope will allow us to properly handle the next wave of chess enthusiasm. It's never been a more exciting time to be a chess fan, but that's also why it's such a frustrating time to have service outages. We love you and we love you, we feel you, we are sorry, and we are working as hard as we can to return to stability and provide the best possible experience today and in the future. When we reach 15 million or even 20 million people playing chess in a day, chess is incredible, and it's a joy to share this game with all of you. All right, you guys. So yes, there's a ton of Fang layoffs. Yes, I'm aware of that, but we are going to move along, you guys. We're going to change the scene. Where was I? We are, of course, going to be covering the Tata Steel Masters tournament for a little bit. Title Tuesday was canceled, as everybody knows. I will turn off the. I don't like seeing the line. So how do I turn it off? It's been a while since I've. How do I turn it off? No, that's not what I meant to click. Whatever, I'll leave it like this. We're going to cover Tata Steel for a little bit. I will obviously be doing some variety. We will maybe do the Disrespect speedrun because it's been a little while since I last did that. But that's going to be the plan. But at any rate, you guys, we are back. Obviously, it is Tuesday. So early Title Tuesday was canceled. Long Title Tuesday was not canceled. How 250K new accounts per day? I will tell you, I think there are many things going on. I think first and foremost, as people have alluded to before, I think the around the holiday times, chess booms. One thing that has happened for a little bit is I feel like since 2020 is like December, January, and into early February, there have been massive booms of viewers coming in to watch chess. I think it's probably because over the holidays people are buying chesses. Chess is very, very hot, so that's that. Growsport, well, you guys, chess.com, they are the proud owners of Chess24, so we are going to admire this great layout that Chess24 has here. Great board. I mean, the pieces aren't the pieces I use now. When I played the Chess24 events, I used different pieces. Now, I haven't been on the site in a while, so how do I change the pieces? How do I change the pieces to the piece I actually used? Or the board to the board I used? Maybe I go to settings. Will this change something? Yeah, here we go. Okay, I think no, this is what I used. Yes. Okay. And that's good. Wait, what? It didn't change it? This is what I used. Okay, whatever. Okay. And there we go. And there we go. And why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? It's not saving it. Whatever. At any rate, you guys, we are going to be covering it. Yeah, I was using a different board when I played the Magnus events in like 2020 and 2021. Refresh maybe. Okay, let's refresh. We'll see if it does. Check Emil's tweet. Okay, you guys, you say there's an Emil tweet. Somebody in chat link me to Emil's tweet. I gotta see Emil's tweet about what the boom is all about, Come on, you guys, if there's an Emil tweet, I have a feeling I have to cover it. So somebody put a link, it'll get crossed out, but I have to see the link. Or I have to go to Twitter. Come on, you guys. Somebody in chat, send me the link. Send me the link. Come on. There's got to be a good link. Let me put the music back on. I know it sounded a little bit soft. Okay, here we go. Let's pull this up. Actually, I'll stop the music again very briefly. Let's see. What is this tweet? Let me change this. Which one's best? Let's go to Okay. All right, let's go to Twitter. Let's see. What is this tweet from Mr. Emil Satovsky, the Director General at FIDE? I have a feeling this is going to be good, but let's see. What did he say? Some great job. Okay, so first of all, he's Director General. He could actually write in proper English and say a great job versus some great job by chess.com, but I'm not going to be the grammar guy right now, even though I like being that guy. However, I feel FIDE events were among the key drivers in 2020. Oh, I barely have to read the first sentence and already, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I barely have to get started. I know where this is going. Okay. However, I feel FIDE events were among the key drivers in 2022. Madrid candidates, massive success. Chennai Olympiad, huge interest with lasting effect in India, plus massively followed globally. World Rapid Blitz, 120 million views to date. Tell it to your mittens. Okay, so I'm gonna be brutally blunt here, and I'm just gonna be brutal. I'll just be brutally blunt. The fact is, the reason the candidates was, and this is where I'm gonna do my inner levy right now. The fact is, one of the biggest reasons the Madrid candidates was followed so closely is because I was playing in it and I was very, very competitive. One of the biggest reasons that the World Rapid Blitz did so well is because Magnus and I were playing. We are, to be fair, the two most followed chess players in the world. If neither of us was playing, that event would have gotten no coverage. That is just the reality. So am I worried that he won't invite me again? Let's be serious. I don't deal with Emil. If I'm talking to FIDE, I'm talking to someone above him. So yeah, this is great. This is great. Don't be but this one I'm not even joking. I'm just being honest. Like, one of the biggest reasons Madrid was followed so closely is very specifically because I played and I was competitive. And the World Rapid and Blitz, I'm sorry, you had Magnus, you had me. The tournament was very competitive, of course, but still, like, let's be serious. Let's be serious. So yeah, this is comical. Also, again, as I would say for like the millionth time today, the reason that all this can happen is specifically because of everything that chess.com was doing prior to 2022. You look at the pandemic, the lockdown, 2021. That is just the reality. That's just the reality. All this happened because of everything that chess.com was doing before 2022 as well. So this is just comical. This is just comical. And I will say it's a bad sign for FIDE when you have someone who basically, what it seems like they're trying to do is they're trying to diminish what chess.com is doing. They're trying to say that, like, FIDE is doing a great job when, the reality is that, it's chess.com. That's just the reality. It's just the reality. It's all because of FIDE. Yes, you guys, everything is because of FIDE. I would also say this. If any organization came along, let's just say Elon Musk, for example, or Jeff Bezos, or whomever it might be, since, I'm assuming not enough of you are taking away Bezos's money with your Prime sub. But at any rate, I'm guessing, like, if one of those guys came around and they were willing to put like $10 million a year for like 10 years, just 100 million commitment over 10 years, over 10 years, FIDE would be poof. It would be finished. It would no longer exist. Or maybe it would still exist, but it would not be relevant at all. So it's very comical that, like, Emil here is somehow trying to, he's trying to say that FIDE somehow had a big role in everything, when FIDE literally is at the very bottom of the totem pole doing the absolute minimum. So this is just, this is a typical FIDE reply. Even in 2020, it was kind of funny to see some of these tweets. Like, you're like, okay, they don't quite understand the landscape. They're putting out these tweets. And in 2023, you see the same stuff still happening. And it's very, very funny. Very funny. So yeah. All right, you guys. You guys are participating in these events because FIDE literally hosts these events. Yes, well, that's kind of the point. If you look at the online events, there were the online tours, there was the RCC, the SEC, the CGC that chess.com held. There, of course, was the Meltwater tour on Chess24. The reality is that, like, all these, the reason people, if these events just existed every week, nobody would even show up at over the board tournaments again. So it's just, this is just so out of touch with reality. It's sad. It's honestly sad to see. Let's keep going. We have another tweet. What is this? This is a tweet from Mr. Dodgy, but the 2023 version is chess popular because of FIDE or in spite of FIDE. Another great one. This is another great one, you guys. This is a good one. Yep, this is a good one. Because of FIDE or in spite of FIDE. Obviously, you know, people do actually see the reality, contrary to what Emil wants to say. But yeah, absolutely hilarious.